the kingdom of gold and ash. The crown of the 10 tribes was not given, but torn. Jeroboam, once a servant, now a king, stood in the raw stone fortress of Shechem. He was the man of prophecy, the rebel who had shattered a dynasty. Yet the northern kingdom was a fractured thing, its heart still beating in another man's chest, in the distant city of Jerusalem. Every night, Jeroboam dreamt of the temple's long shadow stretching north to reclaim what he had stolen. His spies brought him the same news every week. The roads south are filled, my king. They go for the feasts. They spoke of families, merchants, and soldiers, all drawn to Jerusalem, to the temple of Solomon's God, and to Solomon's son, Rehoboam. Jeroboam saw each traveler not as a pilgrim, but as an arrow aimed at his own heart. Their prayers were loyalties he could not afford. "This cannot continue," he snarled at his council of advisers. Men chosen for their ambition, not their piety. He paced before them like a caged wolf. "If they continue to offer sacrifices in Jerusalem, their hearts will follow their offerings. They will turn to Rehoboam, and they will cut my throat to pave their way back." His fear was a tangible thing, filling the room with the stench of desperation. An old, cunning advisor, a man who remembered the worship of gods before David, spoke into the tense silence. "A god is a symbol, my king. The people of Israel are simple. They need a god they can see. A god for the north. Give them a new memory. Remind them of the power that freed them from Egypt, and make that power your own." The words were a venomous whisper, offering a cure that was also a poison. The royal forges in Shechem roared day and night, devouring the gold of the treasury. Jeroboam stood in the suffocating heat, watching the molten metal bleed into the calf-shaped molds. He was not just creating idols, he was forging chains. With each pound of gold, he sought to bind his people to him, severing the last spiritual artery that connected them to Judah and the house of David. He set one golden calf in Bethel, on the very ground where Jacob had dreamt of a ladder to heaven. The other he sent to Dan, at the kingdom's northern edge. He stood before the people at Bethel, the gleaming idol behind him, an obscene parody of holiness. "Behold your gods, O Israel," he cried, his voice cracking, "who brought you up out of the land of Egypt." The true priests, the sons of Levi, refused to serve the golden beasts and fled south. Jeroboam, in a fit of spite and necessity, filled their ranks with outcasts and opportunists. He consecrated any man who desired the title, making priests of the lowest of the people. The sacred vestments now hung on the shoulders of thieves and drunkards, turning every ritual into a farce. He invented his own festival, a hollow echo of the holy days in Jerusalem. On the day he had devised from his own heart, Jeroboam the king ascended the altar himself to offer incense. He was not a priest, and this was not the God of Israel. As the profane smoke curled towards heaven, it felt like an accusation. Suddenly, a man of God appeared from Judah, his face as harsh as the desert that had sent him. He ignored the king, pointing a bony finger at the stones beneath the idol. "Oh, altar! Altar!" he cried, his voice like cracking thunder. "A son named Josiah will be born to the house of David, and on you he will sacrifice the priests who burn incense on you." "Seize him!" Jeroboam shrieked, pointing at the prophet. In that instant, his outstretched arm withered, locking into place like dead wood. A tremor shook the ground, and the new altar cracked apart, spilling its ashes like guts onto the earth. The curse had been given voice, and Jeroboam's new kingdom was born already damned, its foundation not of stone, but of ash.